Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Tonight, I'm going to talk about understanding your reassessment in Lake Township regarding your appeal, regarding that letter that you received from our office, from the Cook County Assessor's Office. I'm Teresa Chandler. I'm with the Cook County Assessor, and where the Cook County Assessor is Fritz Kagi. And so I'm going to go over a few things with you. Okay. Now let's get started. Again, thank you for being here because you could have been anyplace else, but you decided to spend your time with Teresa Chandler, and I appreciate it. So the Cook County Assessor is Fritz Kagi. He's been in office since 2018. We've made so many improvements in our office, and let's talk about what's happening in Lake Township with evaluations. Now, what is the responsibilities of the Cook County Assessor's Office? Our responsibility, the Cook County Assessor's Office, is that we set fair and accurate values for over 1.9 million parcels throughout Cook County. Now, that's a lot of parcels, right? These parcels are valued on not an individual basis, but rather a mass appraisal system. We administer property tax savings that may contribute to lowering your property tax bills, the tax rates, and the levies. They're set by the municipality and your local taxing bodies. Now, in Cook County, we follow what we call a triennial reassessment. Excuse me, it's a little warm in my house. I did turn the air on, but my voice is raspy anyway, so just bear with me because what I have to show you tonight and explain to you is very valuable. And so maybe we'll still get through that in spite of my voice, okay? So bear with me. Cook County, we follow a triennial reassessment cycle. That means that we place the value on your home, okay? Every 3 years, you receive a reassessment notice. This year, everyone that lives in the city of Chicago will receive a reassessment notice. Now, you'll have 30 calendar days, business days actually, it used to be calendar days, to file an appeal once you've received your reassessment notice. Next year, the North Tribe, that's the northern suburbs, that's like Schaumburg and Northbrook, they will receive their notice. Last year, the South suburbs received theirs like Palos and Markham and Thornton. But this year, each one of you, I see it's about 112, 15 people on here, you should have received a reassessment notice from our office with the values that you have on your home. And if you disagree with that, you can file an appeal. Now, the deadline to file an appeal with our office is October the 11th of this year, okay? Now, let's talk about what and how the market has changed. Now, this is what we call the valuation report. This is something new that it's on our website. Everything I have here is on our website. So everything is transparent. We're transparent. The Cook County Assessor's Office is transparent. You can take pictures of this. If you have questions, drop them in the chat box, drop them in the DM. I have my director, Lupe Marin. She's working with me. She's going to be answering the questions, okay? So drop them in there as I go along, because I know we only have an hour. And if there are some questions that I won't get to tonight or I can't get to tonight, we will answer you. Just send us your email, but put them in the chat box, okay? Now, how have the residential valuation report changed in Lake Township? Well, this valuation report is a sales trend from 2020 to 2023. Now, the residential, that's the single family homes from 2020 was at 201, and now in 2023, they're 225. A 17% change happened, okay? So right now, single families at 194. Condos, you had 128K, a 34% change since 2021. Why 2021? Because that's the last time the city was reassessed. Also, we have multifamily. The multifamily home, there's a 49% change since 2021. Now, some people ask, why is my home higher than what's on Zillow? Now, as I want to tell you is that our office, we use a computerized statistical model known as the mass appraisal system, right? We use real estimated market data. We just don't make these numbers up, okay? These sales are recorded at the Cook County Recorder Deeds office, and this is where we get all our information, okay? Now, we don't go on Zillow and compare your home. We use a computerized statistical model, and that's how we come up with this, all right? We compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges, all right? And as I stated, if you're not satisfied with the value that we've placed on your home, I urge you to file an appeal, okay? Now, you can compare the real estate market to the assessor estimated value. On our website, you have the opportunity to identify your neighborhood code. Your neighborhood code can be found on your reassessment notice. Now, each one of you on here should have received a reassessment notice. If you have not, please contact our office and we'll be gladly to provide you with your reassessment notice. With your reassessment notice, you can identify your neighborhood codes and how many sales that was in there, the median sale price and the top sale price, okay? You can click on your neighborhood code. You can compare the recent sales to our value. And this is a great tool to use. This is one of the tools that's on our website. Right now we have in Lake Township. Now, if you live in, let's say, neighborhood 380, there's 372 sales, right? The median sale price was 180. The top sale price was 650. This is in Lake Township, okay? So you can find all of this information based on your neighborhood code. It's on our website, okay? Now, some people saying that I'm looking here, I'm just jumping a little ahead that the assessment went up from $74,000 to $194,000 with no improvement. Well, if you go on this valuation report, you can see what happened in the sale price. If you believe that your value, the value that we place on your home is overvalued, I urge you to file an appeal, okay? All right. Now, if some of the characteristics on your home does not reflect what we have, you have the opportunity to change it on your appeal, okay? And I want to say that when you file your appeal, it's free. You do not need an attorney to file your appeal. You do not need to provide comparable properties. I'm going to talk about that a little later, but I want to talk about it now because you have the right to file an appeal with our office. It's free, and our office will help you. You can go to any one of our offices or our branch office. You can come downtown, Markham, Skokie. Hey, you can file an appeal with our office, and we will assist you, okay? Now, let me talk about this data dashboard. You, the public, you can view this data dashboard. Now, in the first stage of this data dashboard, the Cook County Assessor, we set the values, and the Cook County Assessor's Office, we process your appeal. That's when you filed your appeal with the Cook County Assessor's Office. You'll receive a determination letter maybe around 3 months, okay, after you filed your appeal. And in the second and final stage, the Cook County Board of Review adjusts those values based on the appeals that you file with their office, all right? It also shows you in this data dashboard the burden shift that's placed among everyone, okay? Now, I urge you to also take a look at the data dashboard. This is on our website. The website is here, it's below under data dashboard, okay? Now, some people says, how do they look for comparable properties, right? You don't have to find comps. Our office will do the work for you. So there's no need to look for them, but we do have a built-in grid in our website that will provide you comparable properties. If you do not find comparable properties, that means that your property is probably unique, one of a kind. And if so, you'll be able to write a narrative. Okay. Now, in addition to that, you can access more in-depth property details. All right. Now, on this property more details description, you can access your characteristics. So there's this drop down button, your exemption history and the status. Do you have all your exemptions? A lot of times people say, well, I don't have my exemptions. How can I find out? Just go to our website. What's the history of it? Have I been receiving all my exemptions? It's all on our website. Have I filed an appeal? All of this information is there. Your appeal history, your certificate of errors, if you file for certificate of errors, if you miss your exemptions, you're allowed to file for your certificate of errors. And also you can print your property details, okay? So all of this information, you can print it, all right? Now, this will provide, well, did you jump ahead? Okay. So this is on our website. So you can just, like I stated, you can access more in-depth property details about your property. You know your property better than our office. We want to know about your property. And you have the opportunity by filing an appeal, telling us about your property. Now, what are some of the reasons why Cook County or a person in Cook County in Lake Township or any other township may want to file an appeal? The three most common reasons are, number one, lack of uniformity. Now, what is lack of uniformity? Lack of uniformity is, let's say I see someone named Jeanette. Okay, she's on here. So Jeanette's house or Sharon's house and Teresa's house was built by the same developer. How? Somehow their assessed value is totally different. But it's built at the same time. And it's actually, everything's the same about the house. Okay? But all of our values are different. That's lack of uniformity. The assessed values are totally different. All right? Now, overvaluation is just what it is. I guess many of you would not be here if your property wasn't overvalued or you didn't believe that it was overvalued. Okay? Exactly what it states. If my house was worth this much, I'll sell it right now. There's a lot of people say things like that. You know, my house is not worth $250,000. I haven't made any improvements on my house. How could you say my house is worth this? That's another reason. And the third one is incorrect property description error. Let's say that Christine's house is frame and we have it as masonry, okay? Or we have it as joisted masonry. So that's incorrect property description error. Or let's say Gail's house is 3,000 square feet and we have it at 4,500 square feet. That's incorrect property description error. And so you can file an appeal based on these reasons, okay? Now, each one of you that's on this webinar tonight should have received what you call the reassessment notice. Now, this reassessment notice looks a little bit like the one we have here. This is just a sample, of course, but it looks something like this. So most importantly, you want to pay attention to your property index number. Make sure that you have the correct property index number, okay? Your estimated fair market value will be there, as well as your neighborhood code and your property characteristics of your home. Now, we do receive a lot of appeals. Well, individual says, my building square foot is not 1,280. My home is 920 square feet. The land is incorrect. Or I don't live in a two-story home. I live in a one-story home. These are some of the reasons that you may want to file an appeal, okay? Now, also, can we just go back a little bit? So in addition to that, your reassessment notice will show 3 years of your assessed values, okay? Now, if you file an appeal with our office, say you file this year, and you win the appeal, and we reduce your value, that new assessed value will not be reflected until next year, second installment bill. Now, I consider the blue bill your winter bill, the yellow bill your summer bill. So next year in 2025, that's when you will see that new assessed value, okay, on your 2025 property tax bill. So also on your residential assessment notice, you will see that you can also check your exemptions, okay? Now, most people say, oh, I have all my exemptions until they receive this reassessment notice. Or am I missing exemptions? This is one way that you can check. And also you can go on our website. It's really important that you check your exemption. And also there's a site that's called Cook County Property Tax Portal. And you can check all of your exemptions as well on there. But our website should have all of your exemptions listed and the history if you have filed for them. Okay? And I'll talk a little bit about that further down. Now, let's just say you received your reassessment notice, which I assume you all have, or you wouldn't be here tonight. And I thank you for being here. As I want to say, I'm not a one-man show. I have individuals behind the scene. They're answering your questions. So please drop them in the chat box. All right. Please drop them in the chat box. Okay. Now, if you receive your reassessment notice, we're going to talk about reassessment to the appeal process. The first thing you do, you receive your reassessment notice. If you disagree, which some of you may, of the fair estimated market value that our office has placed on there, then you must provide a reason. Then our analysts will review the evidence to determine whether or not you will receive a change or decrease. Okay? Now, the first thing you can do, as I stated, filing online with our office is free, right? So our online system will guide you with filing. You can start your draft, you can save it, you can revise it, you can submit supporting documents. And always, again, it's free. I always say if it's free, it's for me. Now, you all live in Lake Township. The deadline to file your appeal is October the 11th. Okay? So don't wait till October 10th at 11:59, the last minute, and you're trying to file. Okay? Because you may have a problem. I urge you to file early. If you need our help, come into our office. We'll be willing to help you. Now, this is just a recap. When you file online, first thing you're going to do is check to see if your township is open. Is Lake open? Definitely Lake is open. Have your email address ready. Next, you're going to begin your application. And most importantly, you're going to submit by the deadline. And I always say, if it's free, it's for me. Definitely, I believe you should file with us. Now, I'm going to talk about your supporting documents that you can provide. I'm going to talk about if you recently purchased your home, about exemptions. And some people are asking about the new reassessment. Your new reassessment, if you receive your assessment notice or if you have not, you can contact our office and we can send you a reassessment notice. Okay? Now, this is just hypothetically, okay? It's a little hot in my house. So to begin your appeal application, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to click residential. That's if you live in a residential home. If you live in a condo, you're going to select condo. We're not going to even talk about commercial properties here. We're basically only talking about residential and condo, okay? Now, some people are asking what evidence they're looking for. As I said, drop those questions in the chat box. My coworkers, my colleagues, they should be answering them, okay, as I go along. Now, the first thing we're going to do is type in your email address. You're going to have to create an account first, all right? And then you're going to put in your happy taxpayer of Lake Township. And then your password will probably be something like whatever you want to name it. You can use my nickname, which is Cupcake. So you can say Cupcake123. And then you log in. Now, there's numerous, and when I mean numerous, there's numerous filings. So make sure that you check the appropriate selection for you. And in this case, we're going to select residential. Well, in a minute we will. Residential assessment appeal. Okay. So you're going to check that box, or if you live in a condo, you're going to check that. All right. So let's hypothetically select residential assessment appeal selection. And once you select that, what comes up is the real estate assessed valuation. This is when you begin your filing. Now, if this is your first time, I urge you just to take your time. It's really, really simple. And let's go through it. All right. So we're going to begin your filing. Now, you're going to put in your property index number next. Don't put in any dashes. Remember, I said it's very simple. Okay. And then you're going to hit the search button. It's pretty hot and I'm thirsty, and I apologize, you guys, for that. So now you're going to hit start filing. And what's going to happen? Your name is going to automatically populate in this selection. All right. Now, if your name do not, I'm going to show you where you're going to change it at. Okay. So in addition to that, to the next slide, please. In addition to that, you must check these two boxes. By checking these two boxes, you have acknowledged that you understand and you agree to the Cook County Assessor's terms and our official rules and regulations. Simple, right? Okay, I thought so too. And then you just hit the button next. Now, everything else would auto-populate. Everything else. So far, so good, right? So, do you need an attorney? No, you don't. Okay? And next on this is their primary PIN number. Your primary PIN number is going to auto-populate. Then you hit the button again next. Simple. So if you have two PINs, I know that Mr. Curry says, can you include, if you have two PIN numbers for one property, how do you appeal? This is this right here. This selection says additional PIN numbers, okay? Additional PINs right here. You would add your additional PINs. If you have two additional PINs, put them here. You can add them here where it says add. You press the button add, and then a slot would open up and you can add your property index numbers, okay? Both of them, because sometimes home sits on two lots, all right? Next, this information here is about you. You're the filer, okay? So wherever you see a red arrow, that's something that you're going to put in, all right? Or you're just going to click. So you're going to be the taxpayer, definitely. And then it's going to say taxpayer again. Simple. Now, the name of the taxpayer is going to be your name, all right? Now, if your name doesn't come there, there's this little box that says check this box if the correct taxpayer's name does not appear. So if your name is not, say, Teresa Chandler, that's my name, of course, then if something else come up like, let's say, Edward Jones, then I would definitely check that box. And then I will put in my address. In addition to that, I would put in my phone number and happytaxpayer of LakeTownship.com. And I would click the next button. Boom. And I would click it. So once I click the next button, my name would appear in that selection. Again, it's this simple to file your appeal. We didn't make it hard at all. As I stated, for you latecomers, I see there's a lot of them that has just joined us. It's free to file your appeal with our office. We are here to help you. If you disagree with the values that the Cook County Assessor has placed on your home, we urge you to file an appeal. There are over I believe there's 1.9 million parcels throughout Cook County, but I believe there's like 1.6 in residential. So if you believe that you're overvalued, or we made a mistake, or we have an incorrect property description error, I urge you to file an appeal. And here you hit the select button, okay? Now, this is where it's very important. So, this is about your property characteristics. As I stated, you, Tom, Yvonne, William, Thomas, John, Gail, Lynn, everyone, you know your house better than what we do. We're not there. Tell us about your home. If the characteristics on your home are incorrect based on what we have, then this is your time to make changes. If you don't live in a two-story home and you don't have a garage or it's frame and not masonry, you should make those selections here. Okay? If you don't have, maybe you don't have two full baths, maybe you only have one. Make the selection here. Tell us about your home, okay? Now, this is where on here, this is your appeal application. Why is this page so important? Because it asks you, the taxpayer, what is your desired market value? What do you believe your house is worth? Is it worth that $200,000 that the Cook County says is worth? No. If it's not, place that value in there, in that area, and tell us, is it lack of uniformity? Is it overvaluation? Has your house, is it vacant? Is it unoccupied? Have you had fire damage? Okay. Is there a property description error? Now, is your building uninhabitable or does the building no longer exist? Tell us what is your reasoning for you filing an appeal. Now, you won't be able to write long sentences there, maybe about 10 words or something. So, but you will have chance to add a narrative, and I'll show you where, okay? And then after you place your desired market value here, and you explain why you're filing this appeal, you just hit next. So here is your reasoning for appeal. And then how is your subject used? Is your home a single family? Is it 6 apartment or less? Is it a mixed use? You tell us about your home. Do you live in a townhome? Let us know. Okay? Do we always get it right? We make mistakes too. And yes, we will correct them, but we need your help in correcting them. Okay? Now, this is a wonderful tool, okay? A totally wonderful tool about how you can find your comparables. This is a built-in grid, how you can find your comparable properties. So here we have all of your characteristics. And so you can use either your reassessment notice on the side, or you can use this in front of you, right? But me, I'm visual, so I would probably have my reassessment notice on the side because I too live in Lake Township. So I'll have it there when I'm looking for my comparable properties. And so what I'm looking for houses that look like mine, who assess value. The homes are like mine, but with lower assessed value. So I wouldn't compare a one-story home to a two-story building, or I wouldn't compare a frame to a brick building, okay? But similarly, the characteristics to mine, okay? And that's how I'll find my comparable properties. Now remember, you don't have to find comparable properties. We have analysts in our office that will look for you. So you don't have to do the work, okay? Now, after you've found all of the comparable properties, like me, I will write them down first, okay? And so our screen is going to display all the comparable properties that you have located. And so here is where you can make your comparisons. And so once you found all the comps, like I stated, they're going to line up and you're going to be able to make comparisons of those properties that you have definitely selected. Okay. And you can provide as many as you want. As I stated, you don't have to provide many. You can provide one, you can provide two, or none. We'll do the work for you. Okay. And I want to say this too. A lot of people says, well, I don't want to drive downtown. You can go to our Markham office, our Skokie, or our Bridgeview office, and they will help you file your appeal. Okay. Now, this is where we really can do some things here. At the top, it says your age affidavit. All right. I'm looking up because the screen that's here in front of me, it's this tiny. Okay. And I have my monitor behind it. So just bear with me. And also here, if you have an appeal narrative, this is where you're going to provide our office that important information about your home. Tell us about your home. You can provide pictures here. Also, you can provide an appraisal. Whatever it is that you want us to know. I didn't say like write a book, but give us a narrative. My house is not 2 stories. My house is 1 story. It's a frame home. You have this masonry. Tell us what you want us to know. Okay. Now, this is the very end. Also, this, like I said, it's very simple to file the appeal. On the appeal form, and this is all online, everything is free. I've been with the Cook County Assessor's Office for 25 years. And many of those years, people file by paper. So this is very helpful. It's online. And I'm going to show you why. You're going to put in your name here and your phone number, right? And once you put in your name and your phone number, your email is going to populate and you hit submit. And once you hit submit, it's going to say, do you want to file this appeal? Yes or no. You can go make some coffee, do some things that you want to do. But once you submit, that's it. You can't make any changes. So you should go back and revisit it, right? So I said, yes, I want to file this appeal. So once you say yes, your results are mailed. Now, granted, it takes at least 3 months to receive your decision. I urge you to make a copy of your filing ID. You can print it out for yourself and hope for the best. Okay. Now, let's just do a recap. On our website, you can check your property exemption history, your appeal history, your assessment history, and you can read about the reassessment. Okay. All on our website. As I said, everything here that I'm showing you tonight, it's transparent. It's on our website. We don't have anything that we're trying to hide. Okay. Now let's talk about exemptions. Our office has 8 exemptions. We have the homeowners, the senior freeze, persons with disability, return and vet, home improvement, and the long-time occupant exemption. Okay, so there's 8 of them that you can apply for. Now, when you apply for your exemptions, I'm just going to wait to the next page. So when you apply for your exemptions, remember, all exemptions are displayed on your second installment bill. If you see zeros there and you actually qualify for exemptions, something is wrong. We do have all the qualifications on our website as well. But if you actually qualify, there should be a dollar amount. Sometimes people qualify up to 4 exemptions. Okay. Now, where do your money goes? We actually took this from a tax bill, one of our coworkers' mother's tax bills. And so I think, and I do believe, and I know that the Cook County Treasurer, Maria Pappas, did a fabulous job displaying on your second installment bill where your money goes. It's a total breakdown of the taxing districts in your area where your money is going. Okay. Now, here's just an example of the money that's needed. Okay. Because a lot of times the taxpayer says the Cook County Assessor's Office raised my taxes, but you have to see where your money is going. Okay. And I urge you to take a look. If your taxing district need more money or did they need less money? Was this some of the reasons that caused your taxes to go up? Remember, the Cook County Assessor's Office, we only put the assessed value on your home and provide you your tax savings. Okay. Now, we're here to help. Please contact us on social media. You can contact us. You can come to any one of our 4 offices. You can sign up right here tonight to receive emails from our office. As I stated, we're here to help you. Okay. Thank you for attending our workshop. And I see there's a lot of people here. I see that my coworkers, I've been answering a lot of questions, and I am just going to take a few questions here. Can you drop me one in the box, Lupe? So one, Carolyn Parker says that she received her senior freeze in 2019, 2021, and 22. Had to file an error and receive for 23. But I just received a 900,000 increase in value. I would like to see that property index number. Okay. So you said a 900,000 increase in value. Definitely need to see that house and definitely need to see that PIN number. I couldn't answer it right now because a 900,000 increase in value. I definitely would love to see that house since it's in Lake Township. So Carolyn, can you please drop that in the chat? And also your phone number, because I can make sure I can call you tomorrow. Is the senior freeze based on income in 2022 or in 23? Is it gross income? It's definitely gross income, and it's everyone in your home. So that means you, spouse, and everyone that has income. It's based on total household income for the senior freeze. What are the office hours, and will there be any days for extended hours? Our office are Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5 o'clock p.m. And that's with even the downtown office and all of our branch office. So there's no extended hours after the 5 o'clock p.m. But if you have questions or concerns, we do have an email. You can, on our social media, whatever your questions are, you can send us an email through our social media and on our website, Thomas. So this question says, if you receive a senior discount for over 65 and your income qualify you for reassessment due to my taxes, I also get the disability exemption. But this year looks like I don't see what else she's stating. So let me just say this. If you're on a senior discount, you can receive up to 4 exemptions if you qualify. You can receive the homeowners, the senior freeze, and the persons with disability income. Okay? Exemption. Does the senior freeze keep my taxes at the same as 2023? Or would they basically by the same percentage? So in reality, is it a freeze? So what happened, Williams, is the senior freeze is designed to offset increases, right? So the senior freeze, when you apply, it freezes your equalized assessed value. On your second installment bill, you will see your equalized assessed value. So when you first apply for your senior freeze, you will see that that's where you're frozen at that first year. Now, can your tax bill go up? Sure, it could, because your tax rate can change and the home value can change. Now, William, remember what I stated. The higher your value, the more money you save when you're senior freeze. The lower your value, the less money you save when you're senior freeze. It's designed to offset increases when you apply for the senior freeze. Can we rewatch this video? Definitely, for sure. And if you send us an email, we can actually possibly send it to you if possible. Can you guys put that in the chat if they could see this video again? Because I know we went pretty fast, so I apologize. But we only have a little time. Can I apply for the appeal through my local alderman office? That's what Jonathan stated. So, okay. Let me just say this. I am a strategist for the Cook County Assessor's Office. We travel this whole Cook County, in various offices, alderman's office, commissioner's office. We're everywhere. And if you believe that we should be in your alderman's office, we could be there, okay? Given our schedule allows us to, but definitely, more than likely, your alderman's office could assist you with filing the appeal. And if not, Jonathan, one of our offices, the branch office, Markham, Skokie, Bridgeview, they can assist you with filing the appeal. Is the senior freeze gross income? Totally. Yes, gross income, household income. And you cannot go over $65,000. What do I need to apply for the long time exemption? So the long time exemption operates like this. So there's three requirements. The first one is that you must have lived in your house for 10 years, which that's probably a lot of you guys. Your household income must be less than 100,000, right? That's number two requirement. And the third requirement is that your assessed value must have been going up and up and up, set by state legislator. Now, what does that mean? That means that your assessed value must have been increasing over a period of time during that span. Now, we know if you qualify now, and only about 11,000 people actually qualifies for the long time exemption, and we will mail you an application. Now, we don't know your income, but we know if your value has been increasing based on our modeling, based on our system. And so you would have been receiving an application. Now, let me just say this too. If you believe that we made a mistake and you actually think you qualify, you can call us and we can tell you if you qualify or not for the long time exemption. Okay. But only 11,000 actually qualify for that exemption. So what do I need to apply for the long time exemption? I think I just answered that. You don't need to apply. We actually send out applications for individuals, and then we're here to help. Contact us. Can you file for more than one property appeal under the same email address? Definitely. For sure you can. And this is from Isabel. Definitely you can file for more than one. You can have 5 properties as long as they're in Lake Township and you meet that deadline. For sure you can file for more than one, because you can own multiple properties. But here's the thing. Let me just go back a little bit. You can only file for exemptions on the home that you live in, and that's your primary residence. I'll get to the next questions. I want to say one thing, which is really important. If you miss your exemption, if you miss applying for your exemptions, we can go back and provide you refunds money from 2019 to the current year. Okay? That's if you miss exemptions. So please look on the back of your reassessment notice and look to see if you have failed to apply for your exemptions, or check our website because we can provide you refund money. Last week, I worked on someone's, they missed all their exemptions. And so we actually processed about $7,000 to this gentleman in refund money. I just have to point that out because it's very important. So how do you add comps that don't come up? So you can add comps through, and they don't come up in our system. You can add comps through your narrative. Tell us the comps. Say, here's my subject property, and here's my comps that I want you to use. You can give it to us in a narrative. Okay, Cheryl? William has asked, will the senior freeze stop my taxes from going up? So I think I covered this, but I'll say it again. The senior freeze is designed to offset increases, right? So the higher your value, the more money you save on your senior freeze. The lower your value, you can lower your savings. Now, me personally, if I was on a senior freeze and I've been on it for a long time, I don't think I would file for an appeal, because if you lower your value, you lower your senior freeze savings. Okay. So the next question is from Green Curry. What type of information would be helpful to have in an appeal narrative? So exactly what you want to tell us, Green Curry. Whatever you think was very important to me is that tell me about your home. Like my home, it hasn't been remodeled in a long time. I'm going to provide some pictures. Like the newer homes that's in the community that's coming up, my house doesn't compare to that. I haven't done any remodeling. It's still an old kitchen. I don't have that extra garage that you said I had. I don't have those things. You tell us, do you have an appraisal? Send it to us, the story that you want us to know. Okay. We have the next question. So Tom says, if you only have central air on one floor of a 2-story home, is that a characteristics change? It is, and that really wouldn't affect your assessed value. Air conditioning won't affect your characteristic change. Square footage, if we have the construction wrong or something like that, incorrect, then that will probably change it. But an air conditioning unit, or no, it wouldn't change it. The next question is from Jose. Will an appeal lead to a higher valuation? You know, Jose, that's a very good question. No, it will not. We will not up your value. You know, that's why we're asking you, Jose, to tell us about your home, okay? So that we can get a better idea of what your home is like, all right? And that's why you have a way to file your appeal narrative, okay? But definitely not. Do you need an appointment to go to one of our offices? You do not need an appointment. I can't see your name, but I just see a state. You don't need an appointment, but it's recommended. So I will definitely encourage you to make one. So, but you don't need one. Does square footage, Jeanette says, does square footage include an unfinished basement with a low ceiling? No, it does not include your basement. Mm-mm. Tom, I think my square footage is incorrect. What is the best way for me to measure it? Well, sometimes when you first purchase your home, you have inside that Plata survey. And so you can use that. I think that's a great. And then too, when you first purchase your home, you know how they provided you with some information about the square footage of your home, and they made comparisons to the other home. You can use that as well, because that's the only way. I don't suggest you go out and pay for something, you know? Yeah. Lynn says, may I submit pictures of the outside of the home as evidence? You can submit whatever you like, whatever you deem that would help you with your appeal. I say, Lynn, provide it. Like me, I live in again, like you in Lake Township. I'm going to provide pictures of my kitchen. I haven't had any improvements. My house side of my home, I'm going to take pictures too. Definitely. Thank you so much, Andrew. I really appreciate it. I'm sorry about my voice. I really apologize and drinking my water during this presentation, but I hope that I provided some great information for you. And if you have questions or even concerns, we're here to help you. We thank you for joining us. Thank you for spending all your time with us. You could have been any place else, but you decided to spend your time with us. Again, the Cook County Assessor, Fritz Kagi, he thanks you. I thank my staff for helping me with this because I couldn't do it alone. And I thank each one of you for just spending your time here. And if you have any questions that we have not addressed, please put them right now in that chat and put your email in there so that we can get back to you. Or either follow us on social media or email us those questions, and I guarantee you'll receive a response. Thank you again, and have a good evening.